going on, guys? Don't know what day it is, not even what week it is. G'd up as fuck as always. Go back to uni next week. It's going to set my time schedule back on fucking money, so I'm excited about that. This video is like an announcement slash little topic of the day, announcement of the day. FitX, 7th, 8th, 9th of March next weekend. G'd up as fuck about it. Going to be there. Booked my ticket the other night. A couple of cunts from Adelaide coming up with me. It's going to be pimp. Alright, it's going to be pimp. And this is why it's going to be pimp. Because we're going to be the most arrogant, skinny, annoying cunts at the expo. I'm talking photos with Nathan Rowe. I'm talking photos with Branch Warren. I'm talking just trolling every single cunt there, being funny cunts, chilling, getting pissed, going to Crown Casino, drinking slushies, doing all that shit. That's what we're going to do. And it's going to be dope. So if you're there and you see me, say what's up. If you go and hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on YouTube, we're going to be rolling with the big screw. Like, we're just going to be the biggest, like, we're just going to be the sixth crew there. So you need to hit us up, and we need to catch up when you're there, because it's going to be dope. That's my point of the FitX Expo. 7th, 8th, 9th of March, go there. If you're in Melbourne and you're not going, you're a freak show, go. Because it's like the biggest expo in Australia that's ever happened, and it's going to be spin. Alright, topic of the day is, now, I got onto this topic of the day because I've just been wigging out a bit lately. Because I don't have a phone, eh? My phone's fucked, my phone's smashed. So I don't have my Facebook, so I don't have my Instagram. I've got my Instagram on this iPad, but I don't always have internet and shit. And it's kind of a bit refreshing, right? Because sometimes you get way too into the Facebooks and Instagram all the time. It just overdoes it, mate. You just social media out way too hard. It gives you a big anxiety attack. Fuck, my house is up the flight path, eh? But now that I've got a bit more time with myself, and I've been thinking to myself a bit more without my phone and shit, because it's not been distracting me, I realised, man, it just clicked with me. Like, for the last, year and a half, I feel like I'm just been a bit of a psycho cunt, like, talking to myself a lot. And I found myself in the last year and a half having to talk myself out of situations a lot, having to talk to myself and, back and forth with myself, feeling a bit of like a freak show. But then I realised, mate, this is the big kick, that I wasn't a freak show, right? I feel like being able to talk to yourself and evaluate yourself and like go back and forth with your own mind is a very useful fucking tool. And not a lot of people have it. And this is why, mate. How many people do you know who get up in the morning, first thing they do is fucking get up straight away, turn the TV on, hit the social media up, hit the Facebook up, hit the Twitter up, hit the Instagram up, and the whole day it's just this big cycle of distractions. And then you're going to be like, oh, Dawsey, what are they distracting themselves from? It's like, mate, this is a tongue twister. People distract themselves from their own selves, or people distract themselves from their own mind. Because there's nothing more than cunts in this day and age hate more than talking to themselves. It wigs them out. People can't handle the sound of their own voice, their inner voice, if you want to call it your inner voice, okay? They can't handle it. It makes them feel psycho and shit. But not being able to talk to yourself and evaluate yourself and, go back and forth with yourself is just going to get you into trouble. And people always talk about developing skills to set you up in the long run for success. Being able to talk to yourself and evaluate yourself and check in with yourself and shit is a big fucking skill. It's a big fucking skill. But most people are afraid of it. And it wigs them out. And, do you know what I mean? It's just fucked. It's just hella fucked. And I thought about it all the time, and being able to talk to yourself and evaluate yourself is just a useful tool, man. Do you know what I mean? I've talked about it before and shit. It's just a useful tool, Like, people fucking, their mind will say they don't want to train, and then just like, they don't get that wigged out about it. They just go, I'm going to train, and talk to themselves and convince themselves why it's important to train. How many people do you know have a bad day at the gym, and then next minute they don't train for like 2 weeks because they're like, man, I'm so unmotivated, it's like, because these people don't know how to check in with themselves. They don't know how to evaluate themselves, okay? They've never had to do it, and they're so scared of it that they just don't know what to do, and it trips them out. And you know what I mean? There's so many like dangerous paths you can go down if you don't know how to talk to yourself, and like all this shit. People crack the biggest whites and get anxious and get anxiety and get depression and all this shit because when their mind starts playing up, they're like, oh, it shouldn't be playing up. It's like, dude, your mind's like the control system for your whole body, okay? If you're tired and you've been training hell hard, your mind, it's just, it's like a defense mechanism. It's everything, dude. It's going to fuck with you. And if you don't know how to deal with it when it's fucking with you, you can end up down that path just cranking zannies and just being a depressed cunt and, being glenside and stuff. Because that's, you know what I mean? People are weak in the head. And my analogy is like, I treat my mind like my best friend, okay? And that's how you got to treat it, man. That's how you got to treat it. You got to treat it like your best mate, because if you neglect your best mate, and you neglect, just never talk to them, all this shit, always like, you never want to see them, all this bullshit, like you're always on your phone, you're always on your Facebook, it's going to start being negative, man. It's going to start having a negative response, a negative effect on you, you know what I mean? It's not going to, just being negative, put you down, it's going to put you into like negative spoons, negative places. But if you're nice to the friend, e.g. your mind, you're nice to it, you talk to it, you foster it, you make sure it's always positive, reinforce it and shit, it's going to help you out. It's going to help you out. So it's always this give and take, constant back and forth, going back and forth. You think positive, your mind gives you back positive thoughts and shit. If you don't even stop to think to yourself and talk to yourself every now and again, well, fuck, mate. You're setting yourself up for danger. So that's my little rant there. Point of that whole fucking little rant is don't be a distracted cunt, man. Don't be a distracted cunt by Facebook, all this TV bullshit, because you're too scared to think to yourself. Because that's what it really comes down to. If you watch all this TV and shit, the bottom line is you're too scared to chill by yourself, you know? How many people do you know who can't go out have to go out on a Saturday night because they can't stand being alone at home? Being by themselves freaks them out way too much because they start thinking, and then when they start thinking, it's like this negative spiral because they've never thought to themselves. So I'm ranting a bit now, but the point is, learn how to think to yourself, learn how to be friends with your mind, treat it like a friend, you know. Always check in with yourself. Give yourself like 2-3 minutes in the morning when you get out of bed to have a glass of water, chill, walk out the back, take a piss. Do all this shit and just check in with yourself, talk to yourself, see what's happening, and just don't get distracted, man. Sometimes it's good to just be alone and think to yourself and just do all that bullshit. Alright, so that's it. Gonna be at FitX. Hit me up. Training video coming tomorrow. Peace.